Welcome to SATV News. This is Riaz Mahmood with our headlines. BNP repeatedly rises like a phoenix bird defeating conspirators, says Mirza Fakhrul. Investing in education means investing in Bangladesh's future, says finance advisor. Two new panels announced ahead of Chaksu polls. A total of 25,752 students across 54 departments are eligible to vote. Now in details, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir today said his party rebirths time again and like a phoenix bird defeating all conspirators as he addressed inaugural session of the Kishoreganj district BNP's triennial council. BNP is like a phoenix bird. Many conspiracies were hatched to break away the party, but all their intrigues went in vain. Rather, the conspirators themselves have fled the country, he told the function at the old stadium in the town. The long-awaited conference being held after 9 years began with the national anthem, hoisting of the national flag and party flags. BNP's acting chairman Tariq Rahman also joined the conference virtually as the chief guest. Since the morning, leaders and activists from different upajilas of the district merged in processions to the venue. BNP chairperson's advisor, freedom fighter Abdul Salam, attended as the special guest, while Joint Secretary General Habibun Nabi Khan Sohail was present as the main speaker. With District BNP President Muhammad Shariful Alam in the chair, General Secretary Muhammad Mazharul Islam moderated the program. BNP senior leader Salahuddin Ahmed today questioned why Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami is trying to delay the next election through various ploys, including street agitation, if it is so confident about coming to power as its leaders claim. Speaking at a youth dialogue in the capital, he also criticized Jamaat's demand for banning Jatiya Party and members of the 14-party alliance, while the party is now on the streets together with the party that contested the January 7, 2024 national election held under Sheikh Hasina's rule. Arpon Alok Shangho organized the third dialogue on Youth's State of Thought, titled Human Value-Based Education and Campuses at the Institution of Diploma Engineers, Bangladesh. Salahuddin, a BNP Standing Committee member, also accused Jamaat of showing double standards, saying the people are noticing who Jamaat has joined in its simultaneous movement for various demands, including introducing a peer system and banning the 14-party alliance and Jatiya Party. In an indirect reference to Islami Andolan Bangladesh, he said this party was also a partner of Awami League as it joined previous elections, except the 2024 national one held under Sheikh Hasina, stating that Bangladesh's democratic culture has changed a lot following last year's mass uprising. The BNP leaders said political parties should uphold it through practice. Finance advisor Salahuddin Ahmed said today that spending on education is always an investment in the nation's future. By investing in education, we are not merely helping individual students, we are shaping the future of the country, he said while addressing a scholarship distribution ceremony of the Brahmanbaria District Association, Dhaka. He praised Brahmanbaria as the land of heritage and harmony, lauding the community's unity and vision for building a district recognized for knowledge, culture and innovation. The association hosted its executive committee installation and scholarship award ceremony at International Convention City Bosundhara, highlighting both the district's heritage and its ongoing commitment to education and social environment. Meanwhile, Brahmanbaria District Association President M.A. Khalek asserted that the district has a proud tradition of producing leaders, scholars and artists. Two new panels have been declared for the upcoming Chittagong University Central Students' Union Chaksu polls. The Bishwa Insaniyat Biplab Student Front announced a 5-member panel titled Revolution for State of Humanity. Earlier, Chittagong University authorities announced the election schedule for the Chaksu and Hall councils, marking the first such polls in 35 years. The election will take place on October 12, 2025. A draft code of conduct will be published on the university's website within a day or two following the university's existing constitution. According to the schedule, the draft voter list will be published on September 1 with objections accepted until September 4. The final list will be out on September 11. Nomination papers will be distributed and submitted between September 14 and 17, followed by evaluation on September 18. The primary list of candidates will be published on September 21, while nominations can be withdrawn until September 23. The final list will be announced on September 25 and voting will be held on October 12. A total of 25,752 students across 14 halls, 1 hostel and 54 departments are eligible to vote. Chief Advisor Dr. Muhammad Yunus has said Bangladesh has an urgent need to transition towards a cleaner, safer and more affordable energy solutions as the country navigates a new path towards sustainable economic development.
কিছুই থাকে না
পা পায়ের নুপুর ছন্দ মনে হচ্ছে কি ছু দিয়ে জাদু মন্ত্র
এক্স্যাক্টলি পায়ের নুপুর আমার
অরিক্স স্পেশাল সেলিব্রিটি শো তারকার ঝলক দেখবেন প্রতি শুক্রবার রাত 9:30
ভালোবাসা একবার তুমি বউ কইয়া ডাকো।
হ্যাঁ গো,
আর কত দূর?
আরে আমি তো ফিডের গাড়ির লগে।
তোমার গরু হাঁস মুরগি মাছ তো অনশন শুরু কইরা দিছে।
কি কও? অনশন শুরু কইরা দিছে? কেডা? হাঁস মুরগি মাছ।
আরে ওগো মতি গতি দেখা মনে হইতাছে এসএফএন ছাড়া কিছুই খাইবো না।
হ্যাঁ গো, এসএফিটের খবর ওরা জানলো কেমনে?
আরে ভালো জিনিসের খবর ছড়াতে কি আর মাইক লাগে? খবর ভাসে বাতাসে বাতাসে।
আরে দেখো, এসএফিটের জাদু।
সম্পূর্ণ নিজস্ব তত্ত্বাবধানে বিশেষজ্ঞদের সমন্বয়ে প্রস্তুত হয় এসএফিডের পশু খাদ্য। অত্যাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি এই পশু খাদ্য যেমন নিরাপদ তেমনি স্বাস্থ্যকর। এসএফিড নিরাপদ ফিড, স্বাস্থ্যকর প্রোটিন। এসএ অ্যাগ্রোফিডস লিমিটেড একটি এসএ গ্রুপ অফ কোম্পানিজের প্রতিষ্ঠান।
Grand Palace, 5-star chain hotel, Zinda Bazar, Sylhet. Local and international cuisines. Exclusive banquet hall for all events. 5-star luxurious rooms and suites with pool.
Welcome back. You are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. At least 51 people killed, including 43 in Gaza City, as Israel continues to bombard Gaza. According to the Palestinian Civil Defense, nearly half of Gaza City's population, or about 450,000 people, have fled the area since Israel launched its major operation there in August. Meanwhile, UN Chief Antonio Guterres said Gaza is experiencing the worst level of death and destruction he has seen in his lifetime and calls on the international community not to be intimidated by Israel. Israel's war on Gaza has killed At least 65,141 people and wounded 1,65,925 since October 2023. Thousands more are believed to be buried under the rubble. The United Nations General Assembly has voted to allow Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to address its annual gathering of world leaders next week by video link after the United States refused to grant him a visa to travel to New York in person. The state of Palestine may submit a pre-recorded statement of its president, which will be played in the General Assembly Hall, said the resolution, which passed on Friday with 145 votes in favor, 5 opposed and 6 abstentions. The move comes weeks after the Palestinian Authority urged Washington to reinstate Abbas's visa so that he could travel to the United States to lead the Palestinian delegation and address the UNGA in person. Abbas was among 80 Palestinian officials whose visas were revoked by the U.S. State Department. Scheduled to begin on Tuesday after leaders gather on Monday for a summit hosted by France and Saudi Arabia that aims to build momentum towards a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians.
Credible that is possible to us, but we will.
I wish you all in these times anyhow a good weekend. Thank the representative of the Secretariat, A/80/L2. Those against 5, abstentions 6. Draft resolution A/80/L2/revision 1 is adopted.
To live up to these commitments and are not credible that is possible.
The United Nations Security Council did not adopt a draft resolution on Friday to permanently lift sanctions on Iran, but Tehran and key European powers still have 8 days to try and agree to a delay. The 15-member UN Security Council was required to vote on the draft resolution on Friday after Britain, France and Germany launched a 30-day process on August 28 to reimpose UN sanctions. Hezbollah's Secretary General Naim Qassem has appealed to Saudi Arabia to mend relations with the Lebanese armed group and build a common front against Israel. The remarks by the Hezbollah chief on Friday comes as Israel has launched more attacks on the south of Lebanon. Qassem urged Saudi Arabia to open a new page with Hezbollah based on 3 principles: dialogue to resolve disputes and address concerns, recognition that Israel is the enemy, and freezing of past disagreements. He stressed that the resistance's weapons are aimed solely at Israel, not Lebanon, not Saudi Arabia, and not any other place or party in the world. Qassem warned that pressure on the resistance only benefits Israel and that if it were eliminated, the turn will come. Estonia has decided to request NATO Article 4 consultations over a violation of its airspace by Russian fighter jets, Prime Minister Kristen Michal wrote on X on Friday. According to NATO spokesperson Alison Hart, the North Atlantic Council will convene early next week to discuss the incident in more detail. 3 Russian military jets violated NATO member Estonia's airspace for 12 minutes on Friday in an unprecedented brazen. 1 person was killed and 26 injured in Ukraine's southeastern city of Dnipro after Russian airstrike hit a residential building on early hours of Saturday. Russia launched a major drone and missile attack on Ukraine overnight, killing 3 people and injuring dozens, said President Volodymyr Zelensky. In a statement on the Telegram app, Zelensky said that Russia launched around 580 drones and 40 missiles targeting Ukraine's infrastructure, civilian production companies, and residential areas in different regions across the country. India and the United States decided to intensify efforts to reach a mutually beneficial trade deal, said the Indian Foreign Ministry during a press conference on Friday. A U.S. delegation led by Brendan Lynch, Assistant U.S. Trade Representative for South and Central Asia, met Indian trade officials headed by Chief Negotiator Rajesh Agarwal in New Delhi on Tuesday, after talks stalled earlier in August. A planned U.S. delegation visit to New Delhi from August 25 to 29 was cancelled, with India resisting U.S. demands to open its vast farm and dairy markets. Both sides are now expected to hold a formal 6th round of trade negotiations. Trump last month imposed a 25% punitive levy on Indian imports from August 27 for buying Russian oil, doubling overall tariffs to 50% as part of Washington's pressure on Moscow over its invasion of Ukraine. Thousands of residents in Hong Kong were evacuated overnight after workers uncovered a massive US-made bomb from World War II at a construction site in Quarry Bay. Hong Kong police defused the unexploded bomb on Saturday morning. The bomb was uncovered in the afternoon at the construction site on Pan Hoi Street. Police officers and members of the district's community care teams immediately started to advise residents of nearby buildings to move to a safe place. The bomb, dating back to World War II and thought to have been dropped by a U.S. aircraft, is functional and highly dangerous, according to the assessment by the police's bomb disposal team, which was dispatched when the bomb was found. The 1.5-meter-long bomb was retrieved from 10 meters below the ground, said Eastern District Commander Chief Superintendent Andy Chan Tin Chu. He said the same type of a bomb was discovered in 2018 at the construction site of the Shatin to Central Link in Wan Chai. It will too be made safe at the scene, Chan said, urging the residents to cooperate by evacuating as swiftly as possible. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro announced on Thursday that the country's military will deploy to communities nationwide on Saturday as part of a national outreach initiative. Speaking in La Guaira, Maduro said the Bolivarian National Armed Forces will bring weapons into neighborhoods to deploy, review and train both enlisted citizens and residents in arms handling, according to the president. Maduro framed the initiative as a constitutional obligation, stating that the defense of Venezuela is a shared responsibility between the military and the people. The announcement follows escalating regional tensions after U.S. forces destroyed at least 2 Venezuelan boats this month, killing a total of 14 people allegedly involved in drug trafficking across the Caribbean. Hezbollah Secretary General Naim Qassem has appealed to Saudi Arabia to mend relations with the Lebanese armed group and build a common front against Israel. The remarks by the Hezbollah chief on Friday comes as Israel has launched more attacks on the south of Lebanon. Qassem urged Saudi Arabia to open a new page with Hezbollah based on 3 principles: dialogue to resolve disputes and address concerns, recognition that Israel is the enemy, and freezing of past disagreements. He stressed that the resistance's weapons are aimed solely at Israel, not Lebanon, not Saudi Arabia, and not any other place or party in the world. Qasim warned that pressure on the resistance only benefits Israel and that if it were eliminated, the turn will come for the other states. The Gulf Cooperation Council, led by Saudi Arabia, labeled Hezbollah a terrorist organization. The United Nations Security Council did not adopt a draft resolution on Friday to permanently lift sanctions on Iran, but Tehran and key European powers still have 8 days to try and agree to a delay. The 15-member UN Security Council was required to vote on the draft resolution on Friday after Britain, France and Germany launched a 30-day process on August 28 to reimpose the UN sanctions, accusing Tehran of failing to abide by a 2015 deal with world powers that aimed to prevent it from developing a nuclear weapon. Estonia has decided to request NATO Article 4 consultations over a violation of its airspace by Russian fighter jets, Prime Minister Kristen Michael wrote on X on Friday. According to NATO spokesperson Alison Hurt, the North Atlantic Council will convene early next week to discuss the incident in more detail. 3 Russian military jets violated NATO member Estonia's airspace for 12 minutes on Friday in an unprecedentedly brazen incursion. Its government said the latest in a series of recent military actions by Russia that have rattled the alliance. You are updated with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.